Hey guys, welcome back to Infinifactory, the Resistance campaign. So, we are building one of these things, which I guess is an anti-missile and anti-javelin satellite. It's got a couple of big guns on the side that are 5 long, made out of 2 different kinds of parts. And then it has a core made out of a couple of different things. These brownish boxes in the front, and then these reactor-looking things in the back. So I've set up a little thing here. But let's go look at how we're taking it apart. So I looked at this at the beginning of last episode just to kind of get an idea of what was going on, and I went ahead and set this up off camera just because pain in the butt to do this disassembly. In a way, these things come off pretty quickly. It doesn't give you a lot of time to disassemble them. So anyway, these are 5 long, so we're going to use that to help us transport it forward. And what I've done is just built a series of pylons out here, each 4 in width of nothing, and then we pick it up with, again, so it's 5 long, so it can bridge this gap. So it gets us all the way over to here. And then here's where we start having to get funny, and this was just trial and error to construct this. So we're taking it on the right, its right, gun. And then over here we switch to using its left gun. And the reason we do that is because it's got that thing in the center. So if we were to build a thing here and try to send it left, its centerpiece would get caught. So now its centerpiece is going to be hanging here. We drag it one to the left so that its left gun is in alignment with that thing. And then we start bringing it forward. We also bring it down 1 to bring the gun in alignment with the transporter thing there. We run the gun forward into that. Meanwhile, the other gun is being supported over here. When it's done, the right gun will be touching this and therefore get pulled over all the way to this point. The middle piece will pass through here. The gun will get pushed back. The left gun will get slid into here and destroyed. That will leave the other piece, the center piece, like sitting right here. So then that gets pushed onto here. It gets flipped over this way, I think, and then it gets slid forward into there, lifted up, destroy those 3. They fall back down. The next one goes in, gets lifted up, destroys those 3. So let's take a look at it. You'll notice how quickly the next one comes out. So we don't have any time to waste over here. I was like, oh God, making this conveyor belt as small as possible to ensure that we didn't get this other one in the mix. So there goes one gun. There goes the other gun. It falls down. It gets turned and pushed back in just in time for this next one to come along. And I believe this holds up for the whole time. Now, we're not going to be able to turn up cycles and have it work, probably. Even by 1, I think. But it's pretty consistent. So, let's go back to the other side and take a look at how things come out of this thing. There's 16 blocks in it. I've got 16 blocks lined up. Okay. So here's what we got, and this might be a problem in that we take the gun apart from the front one direction and then from the back on the way back through. So that might cause us an issue putting these back together if there's a facing on these things, which is a good question. I don't know if there's a facing on them. I hope not. I hope not. Well, at the very least, this gun ought to be facing the right direction. So these are going to be 2 pieces of 5 that we're going to have to take off of here. And this is going to require a heck of a lot of blocks because we're going to have to push them off individually. So we're going to need 5 pusher blocks. Well, we're going to need essentially 16 pusher blocks, which is going to be a bit of a pain. But, let me stop you from running. But it's what has to happen, so what else can we do? Maybe there's some way to save along the way. Oh no, we don't want a welder there. We want a pusher there. So, and we're going to have to take these different directions, I believe. So let's go over here and do pusher blocks this way. Okay. So now we can deal with these immediately. I don't know why I didn't do that for the pusher blocks. I could have done. Gonna put it right there so that we can then hang some of these there. If I press pickup, will it pick that up in the right direction? No, I guess... Huh, okay, I guess I gotta put them down and turn them individually. Alright, so there's one of our welding sets. And here is another. Let's see if these guns look right. So we're gonna put these guys off like that. And we're gonna put these guys off like this. All right, let's give that a go. Make sure these guns look okay. Oh, hang on. One thing is not gonna let this work because we're not gonna ever push it. We're gonna need that there in order to get them to actually push. That's just going to take the last block in our 16. Give us a signal to push. Okay. Oh, my God. Alright. Key shortcuts, man. Not getting it. Okay, pause. Okay, the back of that gun looks like the back of those guns. That's fine. Back of that gun should be fine. This is the one that came out the right direction. Front looks okay. Does the front of this look okay, or are we going to have to turn them? I think the front looks okay. So maybe these things are interchangeable. Yeah, it looks like it. They look exactly the same to me. So what we could do is we might as well go ahead and rotate this thing right now. So we don't want to rotate it that way. We're going to have to rotate it the other way. That doesn't look right to me. It wasn't. It didn't replace the one that I had selected. So in theory, we have to rotate it once, and then we're going to have to rotate it again. That's going to end up putting it out here like this. And then if we rotate it again out here, 1, 2, 3, 4, right there, I think. And if we have one to bring it forward, does this work? Okay, it doesn't reach. Right. Okay. And then we really do need the guns to be sitting one up. Oh, it goes that way. Right, of course it goes that way. Well, are we time pressed? That's the question, is I don't know how quickly the other one's going to be coming in. Pretty quickly, I think. That should get us in the right spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there. Okay. Yep. All right, good. So we got those being brought up. How much room do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I guess we could try to assemble it right here and then just put it in place. And we could even maybe bring it in by this last this last piece here. If we were to assemble the guns right here, so the guns are going to want to go... You know, to be easy... No, they've got to get elevated one. There's nothing for it. They just have to get elevated one. I wish there was like a sloped conveyor as opposed to using those lifter blocks. But there is not, so... We need the guns to come and sit up there. How are we going to do that? Well, I guess we will do 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually 4, 5. That's the top of it. So we're going to slide it out to there. No, I did not want to run. Needs to get to here, and then it needs to go to the right. I'm not sure, will that get it in the right spot? I'm a little unclear on how conveyor belts work sometimes. Even after all of these games. Will that... No, it doesn't bring it all the way forward. Okay. So, do I need to instead do it this way? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should... that should get it right there. Okay, now we need to lift it up and set it in place. So if we put one of these there, and we do, I guess we're going to have all of those. And then we need to, unfortunately, have a different pylon right here with an upside down conveyor on it. Is that going to work? I think it will. Yeah, okay. So we got one gun in place. We need to get this other gun in place, which is the same process, so I'm going to skip it for now. I'll come back when I've got it set up. Okay, we get them into place now. We definitely don't have much time to work with here, though. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to need to weld these guys in place. And we need that to happen across the back here. Which I think means we're going to have to move this. I'm going to have to move this sensor block to point downward here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how far back it's going to extend, and we're going to need welders right across, actually one up from here. We don't need that anymore, I think. Although it doesn't matter, we're gonna have to put a welder across there anyhow. So no, I don't want to do that. I want to rotate it. Like that. Now that should, when and if we drop in a middle, that should get it. We're going to put a block there for the back part of the middle to sit on. Now we got to get the middle welded together. So, where is this going to happen? What's coming where is the question. I'd really like them all to go over here, and I guess they can. I guess they can do. Let's see, can we put pusher blocks all on there? Get some conduit, and then get ourselves some conveyor belts. Unfortunately, I can't like drag these into place when they're, yeah, we do that. Okay, we need to get these welded fast and then get them over there. So this side is going to be the best one to do. We won't have to have conflicting stuff going on. So how are we going to do it? We could do some funny business, like we might have to bring them out one more. Yeah, let's bring them out one more. But what I'm thinking is this. What if we had... like that. So we're gonna put this block right there, and then we're gonna put these other two on top of it. So what I'm thinking is, what if we do that, and then we need to have them come up and fall in on top of it. Is that gonna work? I don't know if it is. Problem is censoring, right? We want to censor maybe on the top, but It seems like you need a longer pulse to get these pieces open. Okay, indecisiveness. Let's just, you know what, I'm just going to build a tower up so that I have some to anchor to. It's hard to tell where things ought to be. So we need the block to come here. But actually we need it to go one more up, right? 1, 2, 3, like that. So we need to have like a upside down conveyor, upside down conveyor, upside down conveyor. Let's just do it like that for simplicity's sake. These could get replaced with welders. Like that. This is going to have to be a conveyor belt, and this is going to have to be a pusher block, blocker block. Like that to keep them from moving out. And then where do we detect this bloody thing? I guess we could put it over here, but... Then what do we have to do? Go all the way over? Oh no, I'm sorry. This should be a sensor block. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, the only thing I know to do really is to go over like this. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work. I have a feeling that this bottom part is going to get released too soon, but let's run it and see what happens. Okay, well that worked, and I'm rather amazed, to be honest, about it. So if we do the same thing right here, will it work? It won't, because I can't really put the welders there. Could do it the other direction though. I don't really want it going off the other direction. That's the back piece. This would be the front piece. Yeah, well let me set up something and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, well mirroring it worked fine. I had to put a little block here to keep the thing from pushing over. I was able to save some blocks by just running that straight through where I had a just a cube. So we should be getting everything we need now, and we should be getting it before the next batch comes in. Question is, can we get the middle pieces welded in before they start getting bumped around? Just barely, I think. Okay. Yeah, we don't have a lot of time. So we've got the back piece coming first, and we need the back piece to go right there. So we need to lift it up and drop it in. 2, 3. We need it to, it's going to come to right there. So, if we have a conveyor right there, just dropping it in, and then we have, not that, and we have a conveyor facing that way, facing that way, facing that way. Here we have a lifter block that will lift it up. What are we going to mount this on? I don't know, I guess this. And instead of a, actually we'll just put a conveyor there, turn it upside down. No, that's not tall enough, is it? Then we have to go higher. We need it to be 3 tall. So this, right? 1, 2, 3. This should be an upside down conveyor. All right, let's try that. That should get there after the guns. Yeah, dropped in, welded. Oh, dropped in, welded too soon. Okay, so that's a problem. We need to not have that weld just yet. How are we going to do that? We need to follow all the way through before it gets welded, unfortunately. Ideally, we can't drop it in then. Can't drop it in. Ideally, we'd like to push it in from the back. And we are out of horizontal space here, unfortunately. What I would suggest doing is dropping both of them onto a conveyor, welding them together across the side, and then slipping them through this to get up onto here. But I've got no room. Yeah, I might have to solve that in a little bit. Maybe what I can do is maybe I can weld these two blocks, these two pieces together back here, and drop them in as one unit. That'll save us some work. It won't solve the problem of dropping them in, but it might simplify something. So let me work on that for a while, and I'll be back a little later on to show you what I got. Okay guys, I think we got it solved, and I went ahead and finished it up just because I figured there would be more problems to face. So what I figured to do is just to weld these two pieces together, so we only have to do with one piece once that's done. So what happens is, same as before, the first piece through is going to be this back piece, the reactor stack, or whatever that is. It's going to go and sit right there. The other piece is going to join up with it. As soon as it's there, they're going to get welded and pushed forward. And because they're facing backward, with the reactor stack going this way and the boxes going the other way, we've got to flip it around twice. We're going to bring it over to here, levitate it, up to here, sit it down on this conveyor. We can't have any levitators in here because this is where the gun comes through, so we can't lift that accidentally. So we lift that up, and then we drop it onto here, and then it drops onto there. Now, to keep it from welding, I've got welders here on a blocker block. It's a blocker block, but here it's acting like a piston, a sticky piston. And we've got a sensor right here to retract this right as we're falling, so it doesn't get welded too high up. So let's run it. So here come our barrels. That gets welded, it gets turned, lifted, slid into place, retractor arm retracts, slides back into place and welds, and we get credit. And then here comes the other one. So as long as we don't get out of time, and I don't think we should. So the timing problem, if you have one, probably comes from trying to hold something back, because no matter the method I've tried for holding things back, it always seems to make things stack up, which messes up your timing later on. I mean, things come through at a certain time until you start messing with the way they're coming in, and then things can get out of whack. Okay, a footprint score is no bueno, but cycles are on target. Block score is better than average, amazingly enough. Where could we save footprint? Can't do it there. I mean, there's a lot of crap here, right? But there's no other way to support that, so we need those blocks. We need to support the gun, so there's those. Those have to be there. We could, I guess, put support block there instead of there. That would save us one. I'm just curious what we could do, because we could do that. This isn't going to save one, though. So there's no point moving that one. Can't do anything with any of that. I don't see how we could do anything with any of this. We need all of that. We need all these little conveyors to push us out. This is a single when it comes off of here, so we can't skip. I start skipping as soon as I can. Right there. I need that for them to sit on. What's this? And do I need that? Yeah, I need that because that's a pusher block, or keeps that pusher block from pushing our piece out once it's welded. Yeah, I don't see a lot I could save here. That one, could that one go away? I think that could go away. Let's see what else. Can we save anything over here? I don't really think so. I mean, we're about as lean as we can be right there. I think we need all of these. Maybe we don't need this one. But I'm not going to mess with that right now. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not going to mess with this. I mean, there's only 2 blocks I've removed. I don't imagine that's going to reduce our blocks or footprint score any more than it already is. This here is... These 2 are sticking out, but there's no other way to support this one that I see. Well, actually, hang on. What if we just routed over that? Getting rid of those doesn't save anything. Oh, whoops. What did I do there? Oh, that's fine. That's fine that it's there. It is over something else already, unfortunately. I could levitate it up further back, but then it won't get all the way forward, so we can't do that. Unless we levitate it and then turn it. But I don't want to do that either. So... yeah, I don't really see a way to reduce footprint anymore. Let's run it real quick. I'm curious. Can we get? I mean, will 3 blocks get us into range on our footprint? 365 footprint. Good lord. Here's where we need super fast forward. Yeah, that next gun is just right there, waiting. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't push it, fortunately. Okay, it gets closer. Not good enough, but again, I don't know how to reduce it. All right, the big blowout. Let's see what this is, and then we'll come back next time and solve it. What we got over here? Looks like we're building something on this side for once. Okay. I don't know what that's going to be. I don't recognize those blocks right off the top of my head. This level is the same as last time, isn't it? So we're going to make something and send it back to them. We're going to send them a bomb? Oh, Merry Christmas, mother. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's wicked. So it's a 2-layer thing, a 2-layer cake with a bomb in the middle and these little separators here around the edges. Oh, we're going to send them a bomb. How beautiful is that? All right, well, I'm looking forward to this, if for no other reason than to send the froggies a bomb. What are these pieces? Let's just run it and see. Okay, so we're going to get the ring around that thing here, and we're going to get those things here. I presume they're going to come out in the right proportions. I notice we've got a lot of dudes standing around. Let's see what Dave has to say. Is this Dave? It looks like him. Yeah.
So, just one last thing. You're gonna blow the place up. I didn't mention that before, but hey, at least you don't have to take everything apart this time, right?
That's true. What does Nia think?
They're gonna send reinforcements.
We should have enough time, I think.
Oh boy.
It's okay, Dave. The overlords, they're not so quick.
No, they're not. Well, let's hope we can blow them up. Oh, we got a dude up here. I wonder if I've not been really checking for Easter eggs. I don't feel like there are going to be any, but we could be. Well, there could be. It's probably worth checking. No, it doesn't look like we have any Easter eggs. Well, we'll do a scan past just to be sure every time. Hopefully I don't forget any. Alright, we'll be back to build the bomb next time around. See you guys next time. Bye.